Hey, what's up, family? What's going down, man? We come talk to you about all the BS, man. This is AK International again, man. Coming to talk to y'all about all the BS going down, man, because that's what it's doing, is going down. Yeah, man. Yeah, they seem to be talking crazy, man. This Michael Langley, this Michael Langley character, man. Old sellout type dude. You know what I'm saying? Old sellout out type dude, man. I do not care for him and his BS and the lying and conniving that's going on with him, man. Uh, this dude Michael Langley, when they we're gonna go back a little bit. We're gonna go back a little bit when they had this one uh, cat that they trained named Abdul over in over in Guinea, over in Guinea, man. This is what happened. One of the soldiers, well, not one. The soldiers, the American, the one, yeah, the one soldier Abdul that America trained over in Guinea. The lady asked him, over in Africa, this cat right here, he committed a coup. This was after the training of the American soldiers. You know, he committed a coup and took over. Actually, committed a coup, and now the president. Now he's the president of Guinea. When he became president, the American military was riding around happy, talking about they have a new leader. Okay, so basically, they say that they training folks with morals and values and all this type of stuff, but he's the one that turned around and committed a coup out there in Africa, which we know how that go. All that stuff be set and good to go. They be setting up to put in them puppet leaders that they can control. Like I say, they ride around happy talking about they got a new leader now. Who's they? Who he mean by they? You know what I'm saying? No, he said we. Who he mean by we? We got a new leader now. Okay, so basically, when you talking about we, that sounds like you talking about the Americans got a new leader over in Africa. That's one of their puppeteers to do whatever they want done. That's what it means to me. And then Michael Langley is a sellout, man. They all was they always using ISIS for the boogeyman, and asked what the Americans would do. He said they would come and train, no boots on the ground. Then he goes on to say that Ibrahim Tory is is using his resources for his own self. They're talking about Ibrahim Tory of Burkina Faso. They're talking about that he's using his resources for himself and not the people of Burkina Faso. But I'm gonna show y'all how that's so untrue. It's not true at all that what they saying about this man, that he's using his own resources. But even if he was, the key word is his own resources. But that's not what's going on here. That's what they want you to think is going on. That's what they say is going on. That he's using his own resources for his own self, and what he would and what the Americans would do is say what the Americans would do is say, here you go. Michael Langley is a sellout. They all was using the ISIS. They always using ISIS as a boogeyman. and asked what the Americans would do. He said they would come and train them no boots on the ground. Then he goes on to say that Albania Toure is using his own resources for itself. Then he goes on to talk about they are on the continent trying to achieve security and stability. Okay, you on the continent trying to secure security and stability. If you over there to do that, what happened over in Sudan with their security and stability? What happened over there? Why they over there killing each other? Why they've been over there for the past 2 years killing each other, taking each other out? But you gonna sit up and say that you trying to make sure the whole continent is has security and stability? But then when you was asked, hold on for a minute, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Uh, uh, about they're on the continent trying to achieve security and stability. Then when they went on talking about Sudan, where they have been killing one another for 2 years, that's not a he said that's not a military thing. It's a policy. So where they over killing each other at, where they over there, I mean, committing genocide on each other at, that's not a military thing. That's policy. That's policy. So basically, in the countries that you feel that you could go and you could where they got the natural resources at, that you don't look at that as a military thing. Just let them go ahead and commit genocide and kill each other, just like they over there in what they did over in Libya with Gaddafi. That country hasn't been stable ever since that happened with Gaddafi. That y'all went over there and killed them, and like I say, Gaddafi and them, they was in the black, they wasn't in the red, they didn't know nobody, nothing. But y'all went over there and killed that man. And you always using the boogeyman, like y'all said, he was killing his own people. It's always y'all saying somebody's killing their own people to go over there and to go, we going to help the people. Well, if you was going to help the people, why you ain't been down in Sudan? Why Libya wasn't policy? If that's what you believed, if you believed that Gaddafi was over there killing his own people, why the hell you didn't go over there and help? Why did you go over there? Why did you go over there? I'm sorry, y'all. Why did you go over there? You went over there because of his natural resources, and he was pulling away from the banking system and was trying to get all the African countries to come together. It didn't have nothing to do with that man killing his own people. But where they killing each other at, you ain't got nothing to do with that. Now I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna go back to this. I'm just explaining that. Then she asked him. This is who I'm talking about. Him. I'm talking about Michael Langley, the one that went on the news and said Burkina Faso was stealing the wealth for itself and not helping the country people out. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm talking about him, when she asked Michael, when she asked him, since the U.S. do not have boots on the ground, or are they monitoring the use of chemical weapons? What the U.S. is talking about doing about that? So basically, when she asked him about the chemical weapons, I want y'all to notice a trend or something that goes on. He said they putting sanctions on them, and that's at a higher levels. Those policy decisions are at the White House, and they need to get indicational and warnings about that about that. So basically, when they out there killing people with chemical weapons and doing all this stuff down there in them countries, everything is always a policy. It's a policy when it comes to Sudan. It's a policy when it comes to the chemical weapons. You're talking about these all these things are policies now, and or this is on a higher level. But yet and still, you could go in and you could kill these people in Libya and turn their country upside down, which has never been right ever since. And you could go do all these things, but when you're talking about people killing each other and you're talking about chemical weapons and all that, but you contradicted yourself when you keep talking about this is why you went in Libya. This is why you went in where Saddam was, and why you went to in that country is because they killing their own people. But these are the excuses that you always use when you're talking about uh, uh, going in and taking over a country. Why? Because they got all there. They got all out there in Iraq. They had all over in Libya. They had all. So you going over there and because you want the natural resources. Just say that. Don't say it's because they killing their own people. These people in Sudan, like I say, been killing each other, and plus they're using now. They got using chemical weapons. Okay, and now I'm not sure if that's Sudan, but that's somewhere in one of the African countries where they're using the chemical weapons. But they was talking about Sudan, so I assume it was over in Sudan. Okay, and then it says reports that report that to. He said he report that to the government, and they investigate them. So basically, now you're saying that the government gonna have to do an investigation. Let's take away the chemical weapons. Let's not even go with the chemical weapons. Let's just go with them people been over there killing each other in a civil war for the past 2 years. I thought that the reason why you be going in these countries is because somebody's killing their own people, or they have weapons of mass destruction, and all these different things that you always say. But but the Michael Langley cat, man, the dude ain't right to me. He's a sellout. Y'all know what I'm talking about. He's a sellout. He's a house. He's a house one of them. You know. Okay, now I'm getting ready to go over to Burkina Faso. I want to show y'all something because now he sold out. The Michael Langley dude was the one that sit up and talked about what Ibrahim Traoré was doing in Burkina Faso over in Africa. He was talking about that. Okay, and so this all this stuff to me it retracts back to what he say, but they put him up there and make him the face of all this stuff, and he goes on there like the house that he is and do all these things. So now a lot of Americans are moving back home, and they are moving to help. I mean, I'm sorry, a lot of Africans that moved from to America, to Paris, to the UK, to all these places, and got their schooling, and they had their own practices in a lot of these different countries after they went to college, right? And now a lot of them is moving back to Burkina Faso in order to help Ibrahim Traoré achieve the goals, the things that he's trying to do. And I have a lot of good things to show y'all what this man is doing, while the Americans in the West is trying to talk about that he's down there stealing his own gold and he's treating his people bad. I'm gonna show you where all that's lies at. That's how come I can't believe none of this, because I keep up with this dude. It said now a lot of Africans are moving back home, and they are moving to help Captain Traoré rebuild Africa, going to Africa from all over the world. You have doctors, scientists, engineers. This ain't all. This ain't just doctors, scientists, and engineers. It's a lot of different people moving back because they feel like it's time for them to take they skills that they learned back to the motherland to help their country and make it for their country men and women, instead of being some people that they put on the side, set to the side, and don't had them in the positions that they want to be in. But a lot of them went and got their own private practices. But it's only so far that they're gonna let you get with your private practice than within a corporation. So they going back to help build their own country up. That's what they're going back to do. And other highly trained in Paris. Ibrahim Toure build doctors they build they in Paris. Doctors teaching other students running a new healthcare system. So now they over there, the doctor, they done went back. Now they training other students because Ibrahim Toure built a whole new healthcare system out there. Now this is one of the poor African countries, but they do have a lot of natural resources like gold and stuff like that. But so they went back. They went back because he built a whole new healthcare system, and everybody is seeing what he is doing from Africa and all around the world. And other Africans that moved to different countries are now coming back home. They were flourishing where they were living at. They were doing good where they living at, but they taking their skills and stuff and going back. And some of them is not even from Burkina Faso, and they going down there to help him because they see all the great things that he's doing. Like, for number one, they building a new healthcare center. System, not center, system. And engineers are building roads. Some of the engineers that went back, the engineers are building roads and bridges in northern regions, creating jobs and trades and connecting rural communities. You see what I'm saying? They building roads, bridges, connecting rural communities together to be able to for the people that's in the rural areas, they can be seen by a doctor and stuff like that, instead of sitting out there being sick because they don't have no means of transportation in order to come into the city in order to get health care. Then not only that, he also built some trucks, on wheels for some of the people to be able to go out there and assist the people and help the people right there in their own homes, to where it's like a medical truck on wheels, to where he could go out there and help some of the people that may not have a ride, a car, or whatever, to be able to go out there and tend to his people. But what the West want us to believe is that he's down there stealing money and doing all this people wrong. Now the man is building roads. He's building a new healthcare system. He got trucks on wheels to go out to rural areas to help the people. These are things that they don't even do in this country. These are things that they trying to get rid of. Medicare, the health care, and the creation of jobs. All these things create jobs. All these things create stuff for the African people, to where they have jobs from farming to medical to engineering. The education, the whole ball of wax, to make the country where it's thriving. But for some reason, y'all want to stop that. They didn't want to say, oh, it's terrorism in their area. But the shit, it's terrorism everywhere. It's terrorism right here every day. Every day, whether it's from the police or some white boy shooting up a whole bunch of stuff, or some white boy shooting up some schools, or some white boy shooting up parades, or black people in stores or churches and all that. But you want to talk about terrorism down there? It was terrorism down there when the USA was down there, when America was down there for all them years, and they never curved it. But they were stealing their natural resources. And these people are tired of it. Yeah, it's terrorism down there. Don't use terrorism just because y'all not here now. It was terrorism when they was there. Okay? So let's get on to it. And then they are, and all this stuff is going on in Burkina Faso. and then and a software. Then now they may have a software engineer. Engineers are helping the government build infrastructure. His team is creating platforms for online education and e-health records, national data protectors. So we don't went from medical, we don't went to roads, and now we're going to education. All these things this man is doing, that he's bringing there, that he's making happen to where these people could go, like how the kids out here go online and go to school, the kids out there could go online and go to school. You got the software engineers down there putting that down to where people can get on their computers and do their thing. And guess what? All their schools are free. All their schools are free. I mean, the man's building a brand new airports, all this stuff, brand new planes, all this stuff. This man, how the hell can you be stealing all this money if you busy investing all this money back into your country? There's no way that you could be stealing all this money with all this investment that you're putting back into your country. And should the man get paid for that? Yeah, he should. But check it out. He took a pay cut, even being president. He took a pay cut where he barely even making money. He's trying to make sure his people eating, but they want us to believe that, oh, he's down there stealing and he treating his people wrong. No, them natural resources that you've been stealing, you missing that money. You're missing that. And then the thing about it, you got Russia and China over there that's also helping him from trade, through trade. I might give you some of these natural resources for you to give me this. But when y'all there, oh no, we can't give you nothing. We just gonna protect you. Come on, man. What's the better deal to you? The better deal to me is I trade this for that. I trade this for these military trucks. I trade you some gold for these airplanes. I trade you this for these seed. I trade you this to help me, show me how to innovate and build fish farms and stuff like that. That's a better trade to me, to where I can feed my countrymen and women, and all these factories that he's building, tomato factories, all kind of factories is being built out there. So all this stuff, what they talking about that this man's doing, it don't add up for what I see that's going on. And all this stuff, I mean, you can look it up. It's all happening. It's all happening in Burkina Faso, and also a new research center is being built. So now they building a new research center is being built, led by Dr. Karen, something that's African name is hard for me to understand. It's a lady. It's a new research center being built, but the research center is being built, but she's going to be the one that's one of the ones that came back to help and take it over stuff to help the country. And so it's a new research center being built. Who is a molecular biologist? I know I pronounced that wrong. But biologist is training the young students in biotech, inspiring them to believe that African labs could produce global breakthroughs and education reform. So now here go another person. Now you building labs for bio stuff, so you could be innovate across the world globally for different type of breakthroughs and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that these people are trying to do is be independent. They don't need nobody else telling them how to run their country. Ain't nobody over here telling the Americans how to run their country. So why would we be going over here trying to tell these people how to run these country? These people been colonized and depressed and with boots on their neck for decades. And it's just that time. And then the crazy part, They got people coming from all over Africa, just not just Burkina Faso. They coming from Rwanda. They coming from Ghana. They coming from Niger. They coming from Mali. They coming from everywhere to support this dude, because the other people on the continent see what's going on, and that's scary for the West. That makes the West scared. You know why? The reason why they scared, because now we can't rape them for their natural resources. We can't dictate what's going on down there. We can't dictate nothing. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to play y'all like this and say that you're doing this and you're doing that. And then not only that, the man done had like 17 attempts on his life. 17 attempts on his life. 17 or 19. I think it was not more like 19. Okay. And like I say, then now, and they doing education reform is on the way. They got education reform on the way. You got professors are returning to rebuild curriculum. Professors are returning to introduce curriculum and introduce critical thinking and integrity, African centers, history and science. This is liberated minds of the next and liberate the minds of the next generation, and liberate the minds of the next generation of Africa. You know, so they now, and they, they got these professors returning to help and teach, so these kids could, get to where they need to be and learn what they need to learn, instead of running around with no shoes, no clothes, no nothing, no running water, none of this, none of that in some of these areas. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I don't think I know that they doing what they should be doing. But the people want to try to act like this man is down here doing all this wrong stuff. And then they say, oh, his countrymen and them don't even, they don't like him. Well, it ain't they don't like him, because it's millions and millions of them down there that love him. It's millions and millions of them down there that love him. Shit. Shit, in this country, everybody don't like the president. If we go in there, everybody don't like Trump, everybody didn't like Obama, everybody didn't like Biden, everybody didn't like. So you can't say that all the people don't like him. With all them people that I see, he got standing with him, and people even coming in from different countries of Africa, off the continent, and then different people coming back to Africa from that was living in different countries doing well, is coming back to help him. I see a lot of liking. So just because you got these twos and fews to say this and that, what do that mean? That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. But every time, last time when Thomas Shakur, the president last time, they assassinated him down there and killed him when he was trying to do the same type of things that Ibrahim Traoré is doing. He ended up getting assassinated down there. The whole country liked him. If you go down there in that part of Africa and you ask anything about Thomas Shakur, then would nobody say nothing but good things about him? Just like they do down here in Burkina Faso about Ibrahim Traoré. I mean, Traoré. I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep saying his name wrong. But yeah, that's all you got to do. And so with folks be selling the American people a bunch of BS, you got this sellout getting on TV talking about this man like that, talking about, oh, he's down here doing this and he down here doing that. But then when you get him when they had him in the Senate asking him questions about how did you train this cat that pulled a coup in Guinea? Oh, you can't remember him. You don't remember him. But these are the same people that you put a label on folks' back because you're getting on here being the sellout that you are, and so and then when something happened to the folks or something like that, then oh yeah, you can remember that. You can remember when you run up in these other countries and assassinate these other people. You know what ain't cool. Right is right, wrong is wrong, real is real, and fake is fake. And I don't like fake people, and I don't like liars, and I don't like how folks want to go over and take stuff that don't belong to them. But then you want to turn back around at the end of the day and say the black folks is thugs and they killers and they this and they that and they this and that. The 2 or 3 niggas that one of these niggas might kill ain't y'all don't even give a damn about that. Actually, you're happy about it. So stop it. But you don't talk about these white folks running around here killing folks here and all over the rest of the world. But it just seems like, oh, they don't want Africa to have their own country. They don't want Africa to have their own resources. I can't understand for the life of me how somebody could come around and tell other people what to do in their country. If somebody was to come out here and say something like that, man, there ain't no way in the world that would fly. They might not make it home. Don't tell me that. Just like you had the Kenya president down there lying on him, lying on his country, talking about, oh, South Africa is down there killing all them people, and y'all know good and well that them photos wasn't from there. Them photos wasn't from South Africa. Them photos was from the Congo. Pull up the photos of them with all the crosses across the thing where people go through there because it's symbolic of the people that passed away, and you try to say, oh, he's down there, it's thousands of white farmers being killed because you want to bring the white folks out here. Don't sit up here and lie. Let's be real. I'm so sick of all the lies and deceit and the BS that goes on in this country, and folks just believe anything you say. And don't care about nothing you're doing, and going to crypto dinners where you making millions and millions of dollars, but you want to talk about everything that everybody else is doing, man. The stuff is sickening. The stuff is just straight up sickening, man. But yeah, man, I didn't come on here to stay too long, man. I just came on here to talk about this stuff that's going on down there in Burkina Faso, man. But I could go on and on and on about Libya and Thomas Sankara and all the rest of this stuff and all this killing. Just like, man, I don't even know if y'all even know this, man. This dude went and they made a ruling to where all of the police ain't got to be held accountable now. So now police could just get out and do what they want to do to you. I know I done jumped way off subject, but that just hit my mind, man. Now the police, they've been killing us. They've been doing what they want to do anyway. And, since Trump been getting people paid and getting different things done, now all of a sudden they want to change the laws and flip the laws up to where, you could just get out here and just do whatever you want to do, go buck wild. Just imagine what this is going to be within the next 4 years of how many deaths. And they DOJ don't want to talk to you. DOJ don't care about no phone calls that they getting. When they see your phone call, they hanging up on you. They ain't answering your email. They ain't answering nothing because they don't care. Because he said out his own mouth, that's what he wanted to do. Get out, rough them up, do this to him, do that to him. But when he talking about do this and that to him, who you think he's talking about? He's not talking about the white folks. He's talking about he's talking about black and brown people. Let's just keep it a bun. So at the end of the day, man, all this stuff is just crazy, man. We got to be careful about what's going on out here, and be careful, man. This country is in big trouble, man, and this country is trying to make other countries starve and go through whatever they going through with all these tariffs and all this old different type of stuff, trying to make other countries go through it. And then when you see a country out there prospering because they done got some other partners within what they doing, like in infrastructure and airports and healthcare system and fish farms and farming and all these different type of things, and that's a problem. How's that a problem? I don't see where it's a problem in that. I don't understand. And there's a lot of other things that I'm not even mentioning. I'm within trade, to where they building stuff, to where they got it, to where they got their little trade stuff going on, where they can move or get stuff moved from here and move from there. And you're talking about, oh my goodness, I can't call it what's going on with these people, but I really do know it's really greed and really want to take control and take as much from the folk people as you can, no matter where they from, long as you feel like you could bully them. And then, like with the BRICS things going and stuff like that, man, people are not having to deal with this BS. So what comes next? Violence. But the thing about it, man, especially in Africa, I think everybody needs to unify, come together as one, the way that they're doing. And I'm loving it. That they are the blueprint to what's supposed to be done when you're being suppressed. A lot of people probably try to act like, I don't, Africa. They the only ones that look like to me that they got heart to where they ain't trying to be suppressed. Okay, you trying to do this and that to me, but guess what? I'm gonna keep on my mission and lay this blueprint down so the rest of these African countries can see. And they need to stop being separate and be one country. Be one country. The continent should be one country. Just like this continent is one country, that continent need to be one country. Because you know what? Just think, if you got 54 countries out here, all 54 of these countries have militaries and everything, right? Just think if they all come together as one, and especially with the help that they're getting from these different countries that they trade and doing business now, which is Russia and China, these people that they doing business with now, and start trading and upgrading on their militaries and stuff like that, man, to where they are able to defend themselves and do things like that. Because once we got you chopped up, we can come at you one at a time. But if it's just one unified country, guess what? That's a lot of people. And that's another thing that they building over there in Burkina Faso. They building up they military as much as they can, and they spending a lot of money on this stuff, because I done seen it. I done seen all the trucks, all the farming trucks, all the seeds, all the wheat, they built their own electric cars. I seen their first electric car that they built. They building infrastructure for the charging stations, and they didn't get it from copying off another car. They got it on their own ambitions, with their own intelligence. They built it out of their own stuff, and they built it for the terrain down there in Africa. But somebody like that, you telling me he's stealing money from his people and he doing his people wrong? That's BS. All the people that he goes in there and see when he go to the jails, he went and visit the jails and checking on people and seeing how long you been in here, what you in here for. And then when they find out that they was in there because they didn't have no money and because somebody that had the money wanted them to go to jail, wanted them to disappear, he starts setting them free once after he did his research on what was going on, and then hired one of the dudes to take over that part of the department to make sure that all these people that's in here that's innocent shouldn't be in here. But they don't do that out here. They don't do that out here. The defense system that's set up, they don't do that out here. And I want y'all to remember Ibrahim Traore from Burkina Faso. I'm telling you, like I say, it's already been like 17, 19 attempts on this man's life because he's out there doing his thing, trying to make his country rise. And like I say, you got 54 other countries that's watching this, man. That's watching this. And this man is like I'm talking about factory after factory, hospitals, airports, infrastructure, roads. You know, they man, it's bananas the way that they got this stuff going. The way that they got this stuff going is great. It's great, man. They're not even doing that here. So all that he doing this to his people, man, don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype, family. I'm just being real about it, man. And man, like, share, subscribe. Trust me, it's greatly appreciated. It's greatly appreciated. I want to keep bringing y'all the best content that I can, and the stuff that I'm talking about is real life that affects everybody. This all this stuff affects everybody. It ain't just what I'm talking about. It's just something that for me. It's something for everybody. But I don't know what to say. Like, man, I seen the Russians talking about them and their African counterparts agreements and deals, and in China with all that type of stuff. That's why folks is running up there trying to holler at Putin, trying to holler at this, trying to holler at that. Is because of BRICS, because BRICS and all that kind of stuff, man. You know, this stuff is serious. This stuff ain't no joke. You know, because it's diminishing what's going on here. But the thing about it, though, the ones up in Washington, they ain't the ones starving from it, because they got their crypto deals. They building golf courses in Qatar and in Dubai. I'm talking about hotels, golf courses, all this shit. They build. They balling. Him and his family, each one of them got crypto coins and stuff like that. They balling. So this stuff ain't really affecting them, but who it does affect is us. But like I say again, man, like, share, and subscribe, man. This is AK International, man. Hey, much love. I told y'all that I'm back, so I'm back on here. You know, bringing the content, bringing the information on what's going on, especially when it comes to these politics and this what's going on worldwide, because it's a lot going on, and we all going to be affected by this. All this tariff wars and stuff like that. You can believe it, that we already being affected, but we're going to be infected in a minute. Much love. AK International. I'm out. Y'all have a good rest of your day.